Hello and welcome, children, to the part 2 of foreign exchange rate and balance of payments. We are doing balance of payments right now. So, you see, uh, I know about all the methods how we are spending foreign exchange. That is, outflow is happening or debit is happening, which is also the demand for the foreign exchange. And always remember, inflow is nothing but the credit of the foreign exchange rate, and inflow is the method of earning foreign exchange or crediting foreign exchange in our balance of payment account. Now, we are going to do something which is called Reserve Bank of India's official reserve. This official reserve transaction is a very significant concept on which you get not only MCQs but also 3 to 4 marker questions. So you have to listen to this very minutely. See, after all the credit has happened, all the debits have happened, we total them out, total inflow of foreign exchange, that is total credit of foreign exchange or total supply of foreign exchange, whether it is equal to the total demand or debit or outflow of foreign exchange. If the two are equal, inflow is equal to outflow, there is no movement in the official reserve. Everything is fine. If the inflow is greater, okay, when the inflow is greater than the outflow, that means we are earning more foreign currency than we have to actually spend, that is called surplus balance of payment situation. That means the Reserve Bank of India now has surplus foreign currency in the balance of payment account, and from that account they are going to withdraw that surplus and put it in the official reserve. Now, RBI will never keep the surplus amount lazy. What will they do? They will try to lend it out for speculative trading in the international market, that particular surplus foreign currency. And since as a result, the surplus foreign currency is ultimately moving out of the official reserve in terms of lending out, hence, this situation or this surplus situation of BOP is shown by a negative sign in the official reserve account. Now you will ask, ma'am, why surplus हो रहा है फिर भी नेगेटिव क्यों? नेगेटिव इसलिए बच्चे क्योंकि जब सरप्लस होता है उस सरप्लस को बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट अकाउंट से हम लोग उठा के और आरबीआई उठा के उसको डाल देते हैं अपने ऑफिशियल रिजर्व में। ऑफिशियल रिजर्व में वो सरप्लस लेजी तरीके से तो नहीं रख सकते, हम कभी अपना एक्सेस पैसा क्या लेजी रख देते हैं, वी इन्वेस्ट, राइट। आरबीआई भी वैसे ही उसको इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में स्पेक्युलेटिव ट्रेडिंग के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं, लेंड आउट कर देते हैं, ठीक है, इन ऑर्डर टू गेन सम मोर रिटर्न्स। सो अल्टीमेटली क्या हो रहा है, ऑफिशियल रिजर्व से वो बाहर ही निकल रहा है, इसीलिए इट इज शोन बाय अ नेगेटिव साइन। On the contrary, if the inflow of foreign exchange is greater than the inflow of foreign exchange is less than the outflow, that means the outflow of foreign exchange is greater, मतलब खर्चा ज्यादा हो रहा है फॉरेन करेंसी का, उतना इनफ्लो या अर्निंग या क्रेडिट नहीं हो पा रहा है, तो क्या है, डेफिसिट बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट सिचुएशन। और इस डेफिसिट बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट सिचुएशन में क्या करता है आरबीआई? आरबीआई सिंपली takes the foreign exchange from the official reserve account and put it in the balance of payment account in order to balance the credit and the debit side. अब क्या हो रहा है, आरबीआई इज नॉट सरप्लस तो है नहीं, रादर डेफिसिट हो चुका है। अब वो डेफिसिट को कैसे भरपाई करते हैं बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट अकाउंट में ताकि फर्दर ट्रांजैक्शन हो सके? आरबीआई सिंपली टेक्स फॉरेन एक्सचेंज आउट ऑफ the official reserve account and put it in the balance of payment account, just the opposite of surplus situation. अब वो जब excess official reserve से उठा के पैसा balance of payment account में डाल रहा है, then taken for granted वो excess आया कहां से? So RBI has to borrow from outside, that is borrowing of foreign exchange जो 1991 में हुआ था, we asked for $7 billion loan from IMF, वही situation borrow करना पड़ रहा है। Now जब बोरो करना पड़ रहा है, then foreign exchange or foreign currency is coming in the official reserve, actually वो big borrower still, पैसा आ तो रहा है, so it is coming inside the balance of payment, it is coming inside the official reserve of foreign currency. Hence, it will be shown by a positive sign. Now, from here, we are going to, we have seen one thing, that since official reserve account is involved in this lending and borrowing, okay, lending when there is surplus BOP and borrowing when there is deficit BOP, then the transactions of official reserve account can be called capital account transaction. Why? Because lending increases asset, isn't it? Because they will be getting it with rate of interest, and borrowing increases liability because it has to be repaid by interest rate. So basically, as I was telling you, the components 5, 6 and ENF, okay, it is all about loans and investments. So basically, what is RBI actually doing over here in this official reserve transaction? They are lending and borrowing. Lending is a sort of investment, so asset increases. Borrowing increases liability. So the official reserve transactions are very typically capital account transactions. So if the question comes to you that official reserve transactions are typically capital account transactions, you are going to write yes, they are. Because whenever there is a surplus balance of payment, surplus in the balance of payment account, the Reserve Bank of India puts the excess or the surplus foreign exchange in the official reserve, from where they lend it out, showing a negative sign because of outward movement of foreign exchange from the official reserve account. And whenever there is a deficit BOP situation, that is outflow is greater than inflow of foreign exchange, in that case the Reserve Bank of India brings out money from the official reserve account to balance the balance of payment account, and in this process they borrow foreign exchange from the international market, as a result of which there is a positive sign. Though there is a positive sign, but it increases the liability of the country. Hence, all the official reserve transactions that is being held, depending upon the surplus or deficit or balance situation of the balance of payments, it is typically capital account transaction. Now, from here, we are going to touch upon the concept of autonomous and accommodating transaction. Children, just see this. Autonomous and accommodating. Please look at these things very, very clearly. See, for autonomous and accommodating transaction, the transactions which happens in the due course of development of the country without paying heed to any balance of payment situation are called the autonomous account transactions. Okay, and those transactions that happens with heed, depending upon the balance of payment situation, whether it is balanced or unbalanced, whether it is deficit or surplus, is called the accommodating transaction, because the word accommodating means adjusting. So whenever there is a problem, we are going to adjust, right? We are going to accommodate. और autonomous माने independent, freely होता चला जा रहा है. बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट में साल के लास्ट में क्या होगा कोई पता ठिकाना नहीं है, चलो करते चले जाए. So you see, export import of goods, export import of services, unilateral transfers, direct purchases, as well as all the investment made by Indians abroad or the investment coming to India, that is foreign direct investment and institutional investment. All these 5 things, they constitute autonomous transaction because they don't depend upon the BOP situation. So what are autonomous transactions? Autonomous transactions are all the current account transactions, because first 4 I talked about are current account, and the investment part of the capital account. So basically, autonomous transactions are not only current account transactions, also the investment part of the, whether investment made abroad or foreigners making investment in India. Investment part of the capital account comes under autonomous transactions. Now, after these autonomous transactions are over, the BOP2 sides are calculated, the total credit side and the total debit side. Now, if it is found that the 2 sides are equal, outflow is equal to inflow, then balanced BOP, no problem. Okay. If as just now we have discussed, if outflow is lesser than inflow, मतलब पैसा ज्यादा आया है, खर्चा कम हुआ है foreign exchange का, in that particular case what will happen, the surplus foreign exchange will be lent out by the RBI. ये जो सरप्लस को लेंट आउट किया जा रहा है, लिसन टू दिस केयरफुली, वो क्यों किया जा रहा है? ताकि बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट अकाउंट में दोनों तरफ डेबिट और क्रेडिट इक्वल दिखे, इसको इक्वलाइज करना है. सो ऑब्वियसली इफ देयर इज ग्रेटर इनफ्लो, दैट एक्सेस अमाउंट विल बी लेंट आउट. Lent out means we are accommodating now. We are trying to make the two sides of debit and credit equal. And if the outflow is greater than the inflow, deficit BOP, in that case, we are going to borrow foreign currency in order to match the two sides of the debit and credit. So what is happening? The lending and borrowing part of the capital account. Lending increases asset, borrowing increases liability, so they are capital account. Only the lending and borrowing part of capital account transaction actually helps to balance the debit and the credit side of the balance of payment account. Hence, they are called accommodating transaction. So, children, from here, many teaser questions come. Like, you may get a question like this: all capital account transactions are accommodating transactions. No, all capital account transactions are not accommodating transaction. Investment part of capital account is very much autonomous transaction. Only the borrowing lending part of capital account is the accommodating transaction because they help to balance the BOP. So if I have to see the difference between the autonomous and accommodating transactions, then what shall we do? We will simply say that yes, the capital account transactions which involves lending and borrowing actually balances the BOP because lending equalizes the balance of payment account in case of BOP surplus, and borrowing again equalizes the debit and credit side of the BOP account in case of deficit balance of payment situation. So hence it is called accommodating. So if I differentiate between the two, autonomous transactions are independent, they do not depend upon the status of the BOP, but accommodating transactions do. लेंडिंग बोरोइंग की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी अगर बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट इक्वल है दोनों साइड में, क्रेडिट डेबिट साइड में बैलेंस्ड अगर है तो. अच्छा, देन ऑल्सो देयर इज अनदर वेरी स्वीट डिफरेंस, दैट इज आफ्टर डूइंग ऑल द ऑटोनॉमस ट्रांजैक्शंस, we calculate, we draw a line like we do addition and we calculate. जब देखा जाता है कि दोनों साइड इक्वल है, नो प्रॉब्लम. जब देखा जाता है आउटफ्लो ज्यादा है तो बोरोइंग, इनफ्लो ज्यादा है तो लेंडिंग. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए बोरोइंग लेंडिंग आता है ये एडिशन करने के बाद. सो ऑटोनॉमस ट्रांजैक्शंस आर कॉल्ड अबव द लाइन ट्रांजैक्शन. मतलब वो जो दाग हम लोग लगाते हैं ना फॉर एडिशन, इसके ऊपर रहते हैं ऑटोनॉमस सारे. So autonomous are called above the line transactions. And after making the addition, we need the accommodating transactions to balance the credit and debit side of BOP. So the accommodating transactions are called below the line transactions. I believe it is pretty clear with you all because this is the part where the balance of payment situation or the balance of payment concept actually ends. So please follow me for the next video where I'm going to start with foreign exchange rate and its determination.